Hi guys, today I'm going to be trying on one of the newly released eyeshadow palettes from the recently launched, it's the MAC Holiday Bubbles and Bows collection. This is a really pretty collection and there are a lot of different items in this collection. I've picked up 3 different items. I picked up 2 of the 6-pan eyeshadow palettes and I also picked up one of their kits as well that has a mascara, it has a duo eyeshadow in it, and it also has an eyeshadow primer as well because I use the MAC eyeshadow primer all the time. This eyeshadow primer that comes in this kit is a different shade to the one I use, but I still think that it should be okay. I just love the MAC eye primer. It just suits my oily skin and my oily eyelids really well. So the 2 6-pan eyeshadow palettes that I picked up, they are called the I Love Surprises eyeshadow palettes. The one I'm going to try on today is Regal Rose. I will show you the other one that I got as well. But this is Regal Rose and it has that really gorgeous, the sky blue shadow in the middle. The packaging is really lovely and you just push it up and then the palette is inside the box and this part is just a sleeve. Now these eyeshadows are made in the USA and here is the palette itself. The palette is actually bigger than I thought it was going to be. So it's got the bubbles on the front there on the cover. The cover is plastic. These palettes don't feel ultra light. I mean, they're not really heavy either. I just think they have a really good weight to them. And on the front is this really gorgeous bow, and this is quite soft, so you can actually sort of move it around. It has a magnetic closure, just opens up. There is a mirror inside, and then it shuts with magnetic closure, as I was saying. And this is the colour story of Regal Rose. I think these are really gorgeous. The light blue is probably a bit of out of my comfort zone, but all the other colours are just stunning. And down here, you've got that really gorgeous taupe shade. I think these are really lovely colours. And these are in a variety of formulas as well. So the other 6-pan palette that I got, this is the Best Sellers one. And I thought this would be a really good one to have in my collection. I've only just started recently buying MAC Cosmetics again. I used to wear them all the time. I just loved their eyeshadows. So earlier this year I picked up this palette. This was a Best Sellers eyeshadow palette as well, but this does have different shades than this one that I've just picked up. And then I think this one is the only other MAC eye palette that I've got, and I think that this one was released, it might have been last holidays, I can't quite remember, and the shadows that are in this are different to the palettes that I've picked up as well. And when I tried both of these palettes, both this one that I think was released maybe last holidays and this one earlier this year, I just really love the MAC formula. I think it performs absolutely beautifully. I don't find them patchy. I don't have a lot of their palettes now, but with their single eyeshadows that I used to use all the time, they used to perform beautifully too. There may be issues with them with different releases they've had, but like I said, I've only really just started recently buying it again this year and late last year. So this eyeshadow palette is $32 US. As I was saying, this is made in the USA. The shadows that I bought in the kit that I'll show you in a minute, those shadows, I think that they're made in Italy. And on the MAC website, they've grouped all these different items and kits into different price points. So there's a tab for under $25. Then the next tab, it says for under $49, and then you've got an over $50 tab as well. So when I link the MAC website in my description box below, what I'll do is I'll also link those different price point tabs as well, so it's easy for you to find the different items. Now these MAC Cosmetics I picked up in New Zealand. They were launched here about 2 or 3 days ago. And this item that I picked up, one of the kits, I can't see it on the MAC US website. It could appear there a bit later on. This is the Sparkling Star Eye Kit in gold. And in this kit has the new MAC Stack mascara, which I love. I have the mascara here and I will use that today. So I'll definitely be able to use this mascara. I think it gives really good volume to the lashes and I don't find that it transfers or flakes throughout the day. And I thought the colour of this Duo eyeshadow palette was really lovely too. And also included in this kit, you've also got the eyeshadow primer. I use MAC eyeshadow primer every single day. I've got it on now. It is just fantastic for my oily skin with my oily eyelids. Just helps to keep eyeshadow in place. And also in here is a carry bag for these items or for some other cosmetics as well. Now I haven't opened up this box, so I'll open it up now so we can take a look. And again, it just has, you just push it through and has the box on the inside. And here is the case that these 3 different items come in. This case is made in China and it just has some tissue paper up the top here. So I'll just remove that so you can take a look at that as well. So this is a holder so you can open up the zip, and I imagine that these are supposed to be the little bubbles to go with the bubbles and bow collection, and they are plastic. So we'll just open it up and take a look inside. And inside the case here it is fabric lined, and the items were just in more tissue paper, so I'll just take those out. So inside you've got the MAC Stack mascara, and it is the full size. This is the one that I've already got. So you've got the full size MAC Stack mascara, you've got the full size eyeshadow primer, and this is in the shade Painterly. I think the one that I've got is called Soft Ochre or something like that. So I'll be interested to see whether Painterly does suit my skin tone, but I think it should be okay. And here's the eyeshadow duo. And the 2 shades in this palette are, one of them is called This Rounds on Me, and the other one is Feelin' Toasty. And these shadows are made in Italy. So I'll just open up the cover so you can take a look at them. But I will try these on in a separate video. But I just thought both of these colours together were really lovely and easy eye look to do. And I just think they'll look really, really pretty. So as I was saying, the eyeshadows, these are made in Italy. The MAC Stack mascara and the eyeshadow primer, these are both made in Canada. I think this would make a really great gift, and I'm tempted actually to pick up another one as a gift for my niece. Normally I buy her the Too Faced eyeshadow kits that come out at holiday time, and she absolutely loves them, but I think she would really enjoy one of these MAC kits as well. So before I start with the Regal Rose palette, I'm going to do 2 different eye looks using that palette today. I will show you what the Best Sellers 6-pan palette looks like as well. It's exactly the same as Regal Rose. It has the sleeve and the box inside, and exactly the same packaging. So we'll just open that up. I haven't opened this one up yet. So the safety protective plastic is still on the mirror. But this is the Best Sellers colour story, and I think this is really lovely too. So from the MAC website, this shade here is called Sequins and Sparkles. It's a champagne pearl. Next we have Looking for Bubble, and that is a rose gold, described as a frost shade. Then we have a Taffeta. It's a pale nude with a hint of pearl. Next is Naughty or Ice, and that's a sky blue, and that is a satin shade. Then is Sequin Dress. It's described as a taupe shade, but it almost has a shift to it, a little bit of a pink. And then finally is the only matte shade out of the 6 shades, and this one's called Grand Royal, and this is described as a deep blackened purple. So I'm going to take the Sonia G Crease Pro, and I'm going to start off with this shade here. This is the rose gold one. MAC shades can be quite pigmented sometimes, so I'll just start off fairly easy. There isn't any kick up when I put the brush into the pan. This is a really beautiful shade. I'll just go into there again. I went very lightly the first time, and just pop some more on. I'm going to put this all over the lid, and I'm going to take it above the crease as well. Then I'm going to take the Refa number 14 and I'm going to go into this shade here. This is the one that they describe as a taupe shade, but this seems to be almost a duochrome and has a bit of a shift to it. So I'm going to put this one through the crease and just see if this shade just deepens things up through here. Then I'm going to take the Sonia G, the pencil one. I'm going to go back into the first shade that I used. This is the rose gold one. And I'm going to put some of this on my lower lash line. That shade that I put through the crease didn't really seem to deepen things up through there, but I will use that shade somewhere else. And using the Sonia G, the Blender Pro, I'm now going to go into the shade here. This one is called Grand Royal, and I'm just going to go fairly lightly with this one. I'm going to put this in the outer corner and just blend it out over the rest of the lid. I want to put most in the outer corner though, and then I'm just going to blend out the rest across the lid as well. I might add a little bit more with a more dense brush, but I just want to use it with the Blender Pro first. This is quite a fluffy brush, so it places down a bit less pigment. Just want to go fairly easy with the shade. So more of it to the outer corner, and then with the excess just take that just lightly over the rest of the lid. And then staying with the Grand Royal shade, I'm going to take the Refa number 3 and I'm just going to put some on my lower lash line as well. Again, I'm just going just fairly lightly with this shade. Then I'm going to take the Builder Pro and I'm going to go back into this shade here. This is the taupe one that I went to put through my crease but really didn't do too much. But I'm going to put this over the rest of my lid now and see how this looks. It's sort of more, almost a bit more like a top shade. It's a really pretty shade, but it just doesn't seem to have a lot of payoff. Now you can have these shadows wet as well as how I'm using them dry. But I am getting more payoff with this brush. It's a bit more dense, and then when I'm tapping it in, it does go on much better. It's just that it is just lighter than I thought that it was going to be. So now I'm going to go into this shade here. I'm going to use the Sonia G, this is the flat definer. Go into this one, and I'm just going to put that just in here, just on the very inner corner of my lid. Then I've just wiped down the Refa number 3 and I'm going to go into the lighter shade, and I'm going to put this in my inner corner and also just take it through here as well. Then I'm going to take the Sonia G, the pencil one, and again go back into this deeper shade, and I'm just going to add a little bit more. This is a more dense brush, so I'm going to get a lot more payoff, but I really just want it just on the very outer corner. And then finally I'm going to use this deeper shade to give definition to my upper lash line. I'm going to try it dry first. This is quite a pigmented shade, and then if I think I need a little bit more, what I'll do is I'll use it wet as well, but I think it will probably be enough. So this is the first eye look. When I started, I wasn't too sure how this would end up, but I really like it now that I have mascara on, and sometimes that happens. I put the different shadows on and I'm still not too sure, but by the time I put eyeliner on, well, I use the deepest eyeshadow as eyeliner for my upper lash line, and then I put mascara on, and then all of a sudden the eye look comes together. I think that this is really pretty. It is very sparkly and it is really holiday. I think this would be really gorgeous in the evenings. I didn't have any problems with the shadows. There was that one shade that was that taupe shade that didn't really show much to begin with, but when I used the more dense brush, it came through a lot more. The matte shade, this deep purple black one, is absolutely gorgeous. I think it's a really beautiful shade. It blended beautifully as well. I don't have any fallout from putting on these shadows, and I thought I might, considering that I was using these dry and wasn't using them wet. But if there is some fallout, usually it's fairly easy to dust off, and there wasn't any kick up in the pan either. So now I'm going to wash this off, and then we'll do look number 2. So I'm taking the Rapha number 14 and going into the deepest shade. I'll be using quite a bit of this. This is a bit more denser, this brush, than when I used this shadow last time using the Sonia G, the Blender Pro. And I'm going to start in the outer corner, and if I need to pick up some more shadow I will, and I'm just seeing if there's any fallout. There doesn't seem to be, and there wasn't when I did my other eye look as well, so these don't seem to have any fallout. So I'm just going to pick up some more, and because I want it really deep in the outer corner here, I'm also taking this right through the crease, this deep shade, and I'm going to just buff it out as well, just so it goes above the crease. Then I'm going to take the Sonia G, this is the soft definer, and I'm going to stick with this deeper shade. And I'm just picking up a little bit. I can always add some more, and I'm just going to put this, my lower lash line as well. I'm going to make this line under here a bit thicker than in my last look. I just want it to be a lot more smoky. Now I've got the Tukahoto, this is the F06. And I'm going to go into this shade here. This is the one called, this is Naughty or Nice. And this is the satin formula. Now I've grabbed my Rapha number, this is the 02, and I am going to go into this shade here, and I'm going to put this over the top of the blue shade and make it even icier. Then I've just wiped down the Rapha number 3 and go back into this shade here and just go over the blue eyeshadow just through here as well. I really like the shade over the top of the blue. I think it just lifts it and it gives it that really icy look. And then I'm just going into this deepest shade again with the Rapha number 3, and I'm just going to deepen it up through here on my lower lash line. And I think for eyeliner, instead of using the darker shade, I think I'm going to go for either a black or near black eyeliner. So I've had a look through my eyeliners and I've actually chosen a Guerlain one, and this is in the shade Night Blue. I think this will look really lovely with this eyeshadow look. So I'll just show you a swatch of this. These eyeliners are gorgeous. They go on super smooth and they just don't transfer. Really beautiful eyeliners. And here is the finished look. For blush, I used a Sisley one. It's the Fido Blush Twist. It's in shade number 1, which is Petal. I just wanted to keep it really soft. It's a really beautiful blush, that one. And for lipstick, I used one of the Guerlain. It's the Kiss Kiss B one. And this is in the shade Rose Glow. These are a lip balm, and again I just wanted to keep it really soft since the eye look is more bold. So this is the finished eye look. And is it an everyday shade for me or look? No, it's not, but I really like the finished look and I would wear this out in the evening. This would look fabulous on a lot of people even during the day. For me, it's probably a bit too much, but I think it is really beautiful. I love this blue satin shade. It is gorgeous. Now the blue shade out of all the shades did have a little bit of fallout when I put it on my eyelid, but not a lot. It's just a tiny bit here and there and nothing really detectable, and it was just easy to wipe away. I'm really pleased that I went with the Guerlain eyeliner, the blue one. I think it suits this eye look really well and it just gives it that extra depth, and an eyeliner just gives a little bit more drama because this is more of a dramatic eye look, but I think it is really, really beautiful. A shade like this blue one is out of my comfort zone. I think I only own one other eyeshadow palette that has a blue in it like this, or fairly similar, or one that's more pastel, and that's a Natasha Denona palette, and I don't wear it a lot, but I really like this deep purple, black, and the blue, and that lighter colour over the top all together. Just those 3 shades can give a really dramatic eye look, and I think it is really, really gorgeous. So my thoughts on this MAC Holiday, the 6-pan eyeshadow palette, I think it's really lovely. I had no issues with blending them. I thought they blended really beautifully. There was no fallout apart from that little bit I had with this blue shade, and there was no kick up in the pan. I think that they are really lovely. Probably out of the 2, this is the one that I would use as more of my everyday palette, just having a look at it, and I will use it in a separate video, but I really wanted to try this out. I like going out of my comfort zone every now and then, and I think the blue shade with that lighter shade up the top, like I was saying, I think it looks really, really beautiful. And I also really like the look of that other kit that I got as well, with the duo eyeshadows, with the MAC Stack mascara, and also with the eyeshadow primer. As I was saying, these are great for using yourself, but also I think they make really lovely gifts. So I'm really pleased that I picked up these different MAC items. I think they're really lovely. These are either great gifts for yourself for the holidays, or I think they'd make great gifts for other people as well. And as I said at the beginning of the video, on the MAC US site, they do have the different price points for the different type of packs that they have in this holiday collection. So I will link each different one in the description box below. But this is really lovely, and I'm definitely going to wear this eye look during the holiday time. I think it's really, really beautiful. So that's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you next time. Bye.